It's been a big week under a big sky in Flagstaff, Arizona for the 2023 PDGA Masters Disc Golf World Championships. Way over 90 holes played in some divisions. 25 different major champions crowned this week, some of them for the first time, a few back-to-back champions, and even a handful of three-peaters here in Flagstaff. Terry, when you look back at this week, what will you remember?
Well, first and foremost, I have to think about the Carlos Rigby story. I mean, I know that's just one of many stories that were available, but it also teaches us a bigger lesson. If you want to play disc golf, go recruit your brother, some friends, put an ad in the paper, whatever it takes, get people to come out and play, sharing the love, sharing the joy of this sport. And even someone who's just found the sport a few weeks ago out here at our World Championships, having a great time. I love it. I absolutely loved every minute of it.
Some players here have been playing the game for 30 plus years. At least one player here picked up the game 3 weeks ago, and everything in between. We've got highlights of some of our key divisions for you. Let's check it out. The MP70 division playing their final 9 at the Little America Crew course. Randy Beers in a tight battle with David Greenwell. Randy Beers here at the 15th. Looking for his first birdie of the final 9.
That's right there.
And Randy gets it, pushing the lead back to 2 where it was when this final 9 started. David Greenwell keeping the pressure on. Big air bounce from outside circle 2, now to the 18th. Randy Beers to the top of the mound. He would have that for birdie. So, David Greenwell with the knucks there, knowing it is likely over. But if David wants any chance to put any pressure on, he's got to sink this. Gusting winds off the edge of the basket. A championship effort from David Greenwell. A championship won for Randy Beers with that drop in on the 99th hole. Legends Mark Horn and Dr. Rick Vokes on the card.
Ladies and gentlemen, presenting to you our 2023 PDGA Master World Champion, presented by MVP in our MP70 division, Randy Beers.
Deafening cheers from the gallery and other players alike for Randy Beers. A final look at the final leaderboard, including the aforementioned Mark Horn and multi-time champion Dr. Rick Vokes. It's been an ironic World Championships in the MP50 division. Every day the highlight seems to be somebody making a run at this man, but Chris Smith steadfastly at the top. And on this final day, getting to show us why at the 14th, in for the birdie. And moving into the final 9 at Little America Long with the lead here at the 17th. An oddly tricky little 300-foot par 3. Chris Smith making it look easy. In for the birdie, and Chris moves to the 18th, the long par 5 over 1,000 feet. Between Chris and the trophy. Off the tee and into the open. Chris up the notch here with his second. And that'll just about do it. Chris able to throw a stress-free layup into the shadow of the basket. And Chris Smith with this drop in, the world champion in the MP50 division.
Gentlemen, I'd like to present to you the MPO50 World Champion, Chris Smith.
Oh, yes. Thank you.
Brian Schweberger, Ron Converse, part of the group making runs at Chris Smith all week long, but Chris Smith prevails by 4 and takes down the World Championship in Flagstaff, Arizona.
I can't believe it.
You're up next.
Stay turning. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Ooh. Wow.
Alan inbounds.
That's exactly.
Unbelievable.
Imagine, your favorite disc is unreachable. How will you recover? Have no fear. Introducing the ARM. Augmented Reaching Mechanism. Providing players with over 21 feet of reach, users will face no challenge retrieving trapped discs in nearly any scenario. For further flexibility, the ARM comes with 2 grabbing devices, the pivotable rectangle and the double claw. Go to your local retailer and ask for the ARM today.
It's been an epic tale at 2023 Masters Worlds in the MP40 division, a tight battle since day number 1. Joe Revere.
Really solid bag of skills. You see him go to the sidearm from time to time. Really solid on the backhand. Putting's pretty good as well. This week so far, and that's a costly one there. He's going to flip-flop once again. Joe Revere, 2-stroke advantage. A little loose here and there. We saw it happen to Kale LaVisca. Maybe just a little bad luck with the wind. Man, that's a mistake you really can't have out here. That's kind of beating yourself, ending up OB and then not getting up and down. Nice recovery once again. Every time they've made a mistake, pretty much anyone we've watched on these lead cards, they bounce right back with a birdie almost immediately. Branch, sending him the wrong direction. Kale LaVisca using every inch of the left side of that fairway, working that flexor back on line. Again for Kale LaVisca, gonna knot things up once again. 37 apiece. Joe Revere, Kale LaVisca. About a 2/3 into flight.
Joe Revere goes a little wider.
There you go. Set up for another birdie putt. Joe Revere. Keep that confidence up, and he does. He's like, that's the same thing I did last time. Why didn't the other one stay in? Starting off with a pretty routine par 3. Joe Revere bouncing it off the koozie. Near ace run. Kale LaVisca going to try to match.
Man, if Joe Revere had rung that up, he'd have to change his socks.
No doubt. Victor of this PDGA major. No strokes exchanged here on the first hole. Joe Revere up by 2, or Kale LaVisca chasing him down by 2. You gotta like the advantage of a 2-stroke with 6 holes to play for Joe, but that's definitely gonna make the anxieties ramp up. Bombs one out there once again. That looks so close to going in.
Joe Revere. A 3-stroke lead, this would be humongous.
Absolutely for Joe. That would be a massive sigh of relief and breathing room. There it is.
Wow. I'd have to go back and look hole by hole, but I'm not sure when or even if there has been a 3-stroke gap. Stock drive there from Kale. Now Joe Revere.
How much does he try to bite off? Nice clean swing. Didn't look overly aggressive there from Joe. Just going to play for position. There you go. Open spaces. Going to chip up and down, get his par.
Joe Revere going high.
Close out his event with that putt there. Unfortunately, doesn't get it to stick. Joe Revere doesn't need it, so he's just going to lay it up.
By just 1 to this man, Joe Revere. Back to back.
What a performance from Joe Revere all week long. Firmly in the conversation. Never let these guys get too far out in front of him.
Your Mixed Pro 40 2023 PDGA Disc Golf Champion. Again, back to back, Joe Revere.
Joe Revere, the professor, with a one-stroke victory over Cale LaVisca. Matthew Blakely, the podium finish. Dave Feldberg, an excellent showing this week. Congratulations to the others in the top 10. We saw most of them. Martin Hendel, Steve Rico, Ulibarri, Anthon, Shotwell, and MJ. Back-to-back MP40 World Masters champion Joe Revere. A moment ago, I heard you say it still hasn't sunk in yet. What do you mean by that?
I feel like the first one really hasn't sunk in. It's always just been a dream. I think people work so hard at these things, and the last year I worked really hard. And I know I worked hard last year and it paid off, but it's so hard to do it twice. They say, make it once, it could be luck, make it twice, or however that saying goes. And, it'll sink in a little while here. I'm so honored. I just can't even believe it.
How do you compare the experience of last year to the experience of this year in terms of handling the pressure, in terms of preparation, in terms of the environment around you and what you were noticing this year as compared to last year?
Big difference. I haven't played this game for a long time, obviously not as long as some, but going on close to 20 years and 70 tournaments or something. Everybody gets the nerves, but the biggest difference for me was I didn't have it this time. I started this tournament without being nervous, and I'm anxious by nature. I have a real hard time sitting still. And it just wasn't there. I just had the focus the entire time. It just never left. And I don't know why. I'm so grateful and honored that it was here. I don't know what I did to make it be here, but I was just present and focused the entire time. I felt way more stressed last year. This year was a lot more calm, a lot more, I sort of knew what was going on instead of just saying, please, please, please. Now it was like, I got this, I can do this. I just got to play it smart. So crazy. After playing this game for so long, I still feel like I'm figuring out how to, get the mental game down.
A very large gallery is continuing to disperse here on the property. What's it like playing in front of that kind of a crowd? What's it like in terms of the nerves? What's it like in terms of feeling the support?
I love the support. And again, I think I said this yesterday or one of the other interviews. I love the pressure. It makes me play better. It makes me more focused. And the more people, the more into it people are getting, the more intense things get, just the better I feel, the more on I am. It's something that I can't teach to someone else. I don't know where it comes from, but I love the pressure. And so as the gallery was growing and getting more and more, I just felt more and more momentum going my way, and it just felt perfect. It just felt great.
Your friend Hank accepted his World Championship trophy just moments before you got yours. Now you all begin the long drive home. You said it's going to make the drive a lot more fun. What's the plan? Loud music, stopping at every ice cream store? What's it going to be?
There's going to be a lot of ice cream. It's hot out. For sure there's going to be a lot of ice cream. It's hard to plan anything out. Even my sister and her boyfriend were like, what are we going to do tonight? What are we going to do tonight? And I'm like, I'll let you know this afternoon once things kind of, settle down a little bit. So now I'll start to think about what I'm going to do. I just have to be home by Monday afternoon. I got daddy duty. My wife has to work. So, all I can say is a lot of ice cream.
Which has more pressure, daddy duty or a world championship run?
That's a tough call. They're a little different, but I would say that world championship run has more pressure. Being a dad is just my favorite thing in the whole world. So I love being a disc golfer too. Don't get me wrong though.
Congratulations, Joe Revere, a world champion again.
The final day dawns in the FP40 division. Owen Scoggins on point at Little America Crew, a course where Owen said she had trouble feeling comfortable. This at the first, though, comfortably inside the circle and a birdie to start off the day. Owen trying to break out into a lead, making the final 9 something of a victory lap. This at the 7th. Awkward little par 3. Owen sticks it. Now on the 17th. Just 225, but this par 3 playing longer than it appears. Long putts, the norm. Owen doing Owen things, and now into that final 9. Something of a parade for Owen Scoggins at the downhill 2nd. Owen with the birdie. Acknowledges the growing gallery here at Little America in Flagstaff. The 14th, 237-foot par 3. Owen another birdie. The final 9 playing a mix of holes from the front 9 and the back 9, finishing here at the 18th, Owen a drop-in par, and the victory, a three-peat for Owen Scoggins. Holly Finley with a podium finish at Masters Worlds. Jennifer Allen battles back to earn the bronze here in Flagstaff.
Welcome in Owen Scoggins, now crowned 3-time world champion. Owen, how does that feel?
Feel great, hard work paying off, but I would love to perform better, but, win is win, I'll take it, so.
Nobody works harder than you. It feels like anytime you need to practice or you need to work on a little part of your game, somebody can find you in the field or at a basket. Where does that hard work, where does that determination come from?
I just feel like it's here and there. I feel like I should do a little bit more here and there or work harder. I just like never satisfied with my work, or practice hard enough. I just feel like, man, you know what? I compare myself with a lot of ladies out there because I always see them work hard too. I'm like, man, do I work hard enough? I always have questions with myself. So to make me feel better, I would love to be like just out there throwing, putting, and make sure I got everything done. So.
Some great competition this week. The women were out there charging after you. They were trying to catch up to you. What are you thinking as other players like Holly Finley are right there, super close to you?
I'm not gonna lie, they make me leg shaking. It's so many times I almost pee myself. Because Holly, she was like, one point, she was like one stroke for me. I'm like, oh my God, I wanna cry. I was so nervous, but I try to hold on to it, try not to show like my anxiety. But this is probably the most close, matchup. So thank you, my teammate. She put me in a better game. So otherwise, it will be boring game. Or I always love to see so many of us like next to each other because that is the most fun. And then when you win, you feel so much better. I see so many people like win by 1 or 2 stroke, like they almost cry. Like that is so much fun to feel, I believe. And then thank God, my teammate was push me. I feel that so many times this weekend. So I want to thank you them.
All right, I'm sure you have a few more thanks. Anyone or any sponsors you'd like to thank out there and all the people that have been watching your journey this week?
First of all, thank you, my husband, who like support me all the time, even take the train overnight to come and support me. And he have a lot of work out there. And then Innova, of course, Helix and Grip Bag and Sugar and so on. And of course, my fan everywhere. They text me, they love me, big support. People here, so nice. Even we have like almost 100 degrees. Look at this. We have so many crowd. Right, guys? Yeah. They are the best. So thank you so much.
This week, you are the best. You're now a 3-time world champion in Flagstaff, Owen Scoggins.
Well, today we saw some really touching victory laps from players that were well ahead going into the final 9. We also saw some drama that even extended into extra holes. Terry, legacies written today. You mentioned Carlos Rigby. What are some others that will stick with you?
Well, just watching, as you just mentioned, the playoffs. There was immediately to start off our day, we were able to partake in a 2-hole playoff that took place on the amateur side, and the excitement, the joy, and the dedication and love that's just flowed out of our players. They know that they've been working, they've been grinding, they've been dedicated, and they show up and it all pays off. And in fact, on the AM side, I believe we had 2 or 3 different playoffs, and there were a few times that it was our final hole of the final 9 that was also the decider. People were coming in tied, and it was decided on the final hole, on the final green. I don't think you could draw up a better story than that.
And a lot of tears of joy shed today, people that have dedicated their lives to this sport and achieved their highest honor that they could ever imagine. Some of them say they still can't imagine it, even though they see their name on that trophy. We'll be right back after this to wrap things up from Flagstaff.
Oh, no way. You talking about superhero stuff. There's a flying Kev man.
It's been a very long week here in Flagstaff, Terry. I don't know how much sleep you've gotten, but I know I've gotten very little, as have some of our players. Lots of things going on off the course as well, from the beautiful views to some beautiful moments that we shared together during the evenings here at the Little America Resort. Welcome to the 2023 PDGA Masters Disc Golf World Championships from beautiful Flagstaff, Arizona. I'm Grant Zellner, and I'm alongside the legend Terry Miller.
I am excited to be here at both the Pro and the Am World. So many competitors, and what a beautiful place for World Championships.
Close to 900 total players here, split almost 50-50 in terms of professionals and amateurs. This is not the first time we have been to Flagstaff for a PDGA major. 20 years ago, we were in the Flagstaff area watching world champions get crowned.
The course was attackable. Plenty of players collecting a lot of birdies out here. What a competitive battle, all very much veterans of the game. It's going to be as tight and competitive as any other event you're going to watch this year. We're talking about some of the legends of the game that have been around for a very long time, that have all won big events.
I'd like to present to you the world champion of the 2023 PDGA Masters World Championship, Chris Smith.
George Bodaroga, James Eustace,
Hank Hewlett,
Juliana Corver,
Mufflaws Renicky.
back to back, Joe Revere.
Oh, Scoggin.
Terry, we had competitors here this week from more than 15 nations. We had competitors here this week from 48 U.S. states. A lot of people traveled a long way to be a part of this history, including you and I and most of the staff and volunteers here this week.
Yeah, and I have to, again, give the praise and accolades to everyone here, not just at the Little America property, but the entire local organizing committee. Everyone, all hands on deck this entire week. It's such an incredible effort to host multiple courses, multiple days, the long, hot days that we had out here. Of course, the PDGA right there in full support for every single step of it. It's been amazing. And I have to admit, this is somewhere around my 40th World Championships that I've either played in or worked in some capacity. I was here in 03, I was here in 05, one of those as a player. And I made the conscious decision to come here and be with the Masters crew. Now, maybe you're guessing by the beard that I may be of that caliber, but regardless, it was why I'm here. In fact, I wanted to pass up other opportunities because these are my people. I miss being here for the World Championships, not just the MPO and the FPO divisions. I loved so much of this week, crowning these champions, seeing these friends. And then as a bonus, we were able to get a little extra coverage. So of course you can head out to the Disc Golf Guide channel. We've got montages out there, and we'll have some shot by shot coverage as well. So be sure to check that out.
You and I both were rewarded and enriched by what we saw this week. Viewers, you have the opportunity to as well, with all of the post-produced coverage available on YouTube, including more videos yet to come your way from final round action from here in Flagstaff. So enjoy that while Terry and I travel home. For Terry Miller, I'm Grant Zellner, signing off from the 2023 Masters Disc Golf World Championships, a PDGA major.